Before we get into this video, I do just want to say that there's a few people that have messaged me saying, why do you share so much of your life online? I do this because so many people have messaged me after my first video saying that watching that has helped them. They're quitting alongside me. People quitting vapes, people quitting puff, people quitting just normal smoking. And if I can help people just by sharing my story, I'm going to do that every day of the week. And I'm someone that doesn't speak very well about their feelings or how they want to get through things. And I feel like just sitting here and talking to the camera, this is like my diary. Obviously, not a lot of people are going to let the world come and read their diary, but for me, I would never want to write this in a book. Making a video helps me speak about it and helps me get through these things. So I'm never going to stop doing it like this, because not only does it help me get through things and act like my diary to the world, it also helps other people. So I'm always going to do this every day of the week. So with all that being said, let's get into some positives and some negatives of me quitting smoking. Right, what's up guys? Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to go over a few things about my recent quitting of smoking. Now you may have known that I made this video about 5-6 weeks ago, just labeled I quit, and I basically went over the negatives of doing so, why I wanted to quit, and how I was feeling after doing so shortly after. Now that I'm about 5 or 6 weeks removed from that, I've got to say that I've got some benefits, some negatives, and a confession that I need to make as well, but we'll get through that towards the end of the video. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, am I still sober? Have I been keeping up with it? Which we will get into as well. But the first things I want to go over are the benefits that I found from quitting. Now, there's a few things I've got written down on my little sticky card thing here. Basically, the biggest benefit for me is, as someone who skateboards for a living and does YouTube and just skates all the damn time, I've noticed that since quitting, and by the way, we're talking about the devil's lettuce right here, not just normal cigarettes. Since quitting, I found myself having far less falls and far less injuries. And I used to think, that smoking would get me into the zone. I've since realized that when you do have a little stumble or a fall, you're far less likely to be able to catch yourself and recover when you're smoking, as opposed to if you're just sober. You can get out of it so much easier. I haven't really had any bad injuries whatsoever. And I've been trying a lot more dangerous tricks down stair sets and stuff like that. So if anything, it's improved my skateboarding massively. Another benefit is I have way more motivation to film. Before, if I had smoked, I wouldn't really want to film anything, but now, and because I was smoking during the day, I would find myself filming far less content. But now I wake up and I'm excited to film every single day, which is one of my favorite things to do. So here we are with yet another video, another day in the row. And another benefit I've seen is with gaming. Now, gaming is one of the things that I absolutely love to do outside of skateboarding. Now, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII, the newest one, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and normally when I'm playing a game, I would like play for an hour, go out for a smoke, play for another hour, and because I'm smoking, I'll be constantly picking out my phone and stuff like that. But I found that since I've stopped, I've just been way more concentrated and focused. So the biggest thing for me, I think, is just staying focused, and that has benefited me massively. But there are some negatives to it as well, and it's not just all positives when you quit something like this. I'm the kind of person that has an extremely addictive personality, and I've tried my best not to fill it with other drugs, which I've managed to do. I'm sure some of you will be surprised, but the main thing that I've replaced it with, and I used to do this before but just not as much, is fizzy drinks, right? I find myself drinking a lot of Dr. Pepper now. These are the things that I'm using to like fill the gaps where I would normally smoke. I would just have like a Dr. Pepper or something instead. I don't think it's as bad for your health, and obviously everything in moderation, right? As long as you're not drinking 2 liters a day, I'm pretty sure you'll be okay. But I would be lying if I didn't admit that I had replaced it with something that I'm now doing a bit more than what I was beforehand. Another thing is, obviously, I talked about in my previous video that it was harder to sleep. And when I was eventually getting to sleep, I was having much more like nightmares and crazy lucid dreams. That was a product of the quitting of smoking, as I saw in like a YouTube video where I watched the side effects of quitting smoking. Basically, it's because when you smoke, you don't get the REM sleep, which is like the deep sleep that recovers your body, and then when you stop, your body just overdoses on it, and that basically gets you to the point where you're dreaming lucid dreams like crazy. But that lasted for about 3 weeks, and I now don't really have those anymore. Like every now and then I'm having a dream like a normal person does, but when you smoke every day like I used to, you don't really have dreams at all, and that is because of the smoke. Oh, and another thing is money, right? That's a benefit actually. I was smoking a 3.5 G a day, so that's a Henry VIII a day, and that was costing me £30. So I was spending, bear in mind, £30 times 30 days, that's £900 a month I was spending in smoking, which is absolutely ridiculous now that I think about it and put it into perspective. If that's not reason enough for other people to quit, I feel like that should be. Obviously, a lot of people aren't smoking as much as me, but if you are, definitely think about quitting, because that is going to save you a pretty penny. I've been putting all that money into my YouTube channel, into skateboarding, into trips with the boys and me and my girlfriend. The content's only going to get better from here. My final negative though is that I find myself, I'm at the skate park less. I don't really know if I'm skating less. It's probably pretty close, but I find myself I'm at the skate park far less, because before I would go there, I would have a little training session, have a smoke, skate some more, have a smoke, skate some more, have a smoke. I'd end up there for like 4 hours or so, smoking like 2 or 3 spliffs. But now I find myself go there, I'll skate for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I'll leave and just go back and start working again, or go back and chill out and play some games or whatever. So I don't really know if I'm skating more or less. It's probably very similar, but still I find myself at the skate park far less often. Okay, and the final thing I want to get into in this video is, am I still sober, and have I managed to keep this consistent and going all the way through? Now, I have got a confession to make here. When I was in London last night, I did have a couple of pulls on my mate's spliff. Now, I will be totally honest with you guys. I don't feel any like need to do it anymore. I feel like if anything, that has kind of been like the nail in the coffin to make me realize that I don't need it. I don't need it at all anymore. Like, I had a couple on my mate's spliff, and it was literally just to get me to sleep. Now, you can say this is an excuse all you want, but my man snores like crazy. I mean, I probably snore as well, but I just needed something to help me get to sleep, because snoring is like my pet peeve. It drives me insane. So I had a couple to try and help me get to sleep, and it worked. I ate slightly too many sweets that night, I can't lie, because you know the munchies kicks in. But other than that, I didn't feel any need to do it today or the next day. If anything, it just shows that I don't have that addictive quality. I don't plan to do it anymore. And me and my friend don't stay in hotel rooms very often whatsoever. So it's going to be very much a one-off thing. Anyway, that's about it for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.